What is up? Welcome into your daily Buckeye Blitz for a Wednesday. Not just any Wednesday, a hump day, signing day Wednesday, December 21st, 2022. I'm your host, Joe from the Buckeye Cast. I have one of my loyal cohorts and co-hosts, Shawn, with me today. What's up, Henry?
What's going on, man?
Not much. If you are on Buckeye Twitter today, you believe that the world is falling and the program's going under. They fired all the coaches. Players all are in the transfer portal. And we brought in 0 stars. That's today. It's just a regular Wednesday, really.
Well, I mean, fan is short for fanatic, so just keep that in mind.
Right.
People are emotional.
Some take that to a different degree than others.
They're in their feelings on it. It's a big day. It's a lot of change. It's new. This new system is set up. I actually just heard a little take on the radio coming here. Like signing day was always the big day, but now the transfer portal is kind of almost eclipsed that because these kids, a la Quinn Ewers, will come to Ohio State, get paid, and then go back and get paid somewhere else. And it's the transfer portal is changing it as much or more than this stuff, I feel, right? Because now I'm willing to pay some big money for a stud that started somewhere for a couple years, is just trying to opt out, like a Jonah Jackson, that came in a couple years ago, played guard for us. That's the type of kid that I'm like, hey, yeah, we'll give you some money. You're a proven commodity, but a 17, 18-year-old, I mean, look, Ohio State's had their fair share of 4 and 5 stars over the years, and guess what? A nice portion of them don't work out. So I don't think we're done with all the fallout that's going to come from this new signing day and paying these kids and on and on and on. We're right at the tip of this thing, and there's going to be some bad things happen, I feel, but. I don't know why anyone's that pissed off at the Buckeye class. I mean, missed out on a couple guys we really wanted for sure, and the Raiola thing flipping. But we're still sitting at a pretty good class.
Exactly. Yeah. Let me touch on a few of the guys we were waiting to hear from today. Indiana 4-star defensive end Joshua Mickens. He changed his mind on announcing in January at the All-American Bowl. So he announced today at noon at a ceremony at his high school, did commit to the Buckeyes. So added a much needed defensive end of quality to the fold. We did strike out on all these guys. Damon Wilson, the 5-star from down here in Venice, Florida, committed to Georgia just a little while ago. Mateo Uyunglele, we figured Oregon was the place, and apparently Phil Knight is just launching bags across the country, flipping guys, getting big commits. He committed today. We did lose Kayan Lee. That's another corner flip on signing day. This is 2 years in a row that's happened to us. You remember Terrence Brooks last year flipped to Texas, so we'll run it back. So Johnny Cornelius, the transfer portal O-lineman, he is supposed to announce at 6 p.m. tonight. He is, from what we're hearing, out of the Ohio State market, looking at Tennessee, Oregon, and Nebraska. I don't know about that. And UTEP tackle in the portal, Jeremiah Byers, committed to Florida State on Monday. And Tulsa transfer portal tackle Dylan Wade is down to Auburn and USC. So Buckeyes strike out on a few guys there, but do get a 4-star DN, which they obviously needed. You got any takes on those guys?
None in particular. The only take on it would be, it rubs me the wrong way that guys are committed right up to signing day and then they're not. I think Raiola kind of stuck it to us, and now this other cornerback. I don't look, kid. I don't care, but then don't commit. Say, hey, I'm up in the air, but you really handcuff the program and saying, hey, you know what, you're our guy. And once you got a Raiola, we're not going after anyone else. You're going to be our guy. And I know we did go after like to me, a backup player. But it's like, hey, you're our guy. And, we're not going to pursue these other 4 and 5-star kids. And then they leave you at the altar, at the last minute. And now you're scrambling. It's just, I don't love that part of it. I wish there was a way to, I don't know, figure that out.
Yeah.
But I mean, what are you going to do? Hey, kid, you have to, hey, 17-year-old, you have to stick with what you said 6 months ago. I mean, I get that. I think it's shitty on the kid's part.
Right.
But I'm not even against them because they got to do what's right for them too. So I don't know, just sucks all the way around.
I'd say out of 20 guys, it's pretty good to only lose 2. Jaden Bonsu is the other one that is still up in the air. We don't know what the hell is going on there.
I want that. I love that name. I told you that.
Yeah,
Bonsu.
Yep, I know. I love his size. 6'1", 210 at safety. Bring that.
I know.
But yeah, his school and his coaches are kind of giving people the runaround right now. Not sure why. But as of 4:30 here on Wednesday, I haven't heard anything. He hasn't committed anywhere, signed or anything. So keep an eye out for that. So honestly, my point is only losing Kayan Lee and possibly Bonsu is not the end of the world when you're talking about 20 dudes,
No, but I think that's piggybacking on the Raiola that we just lost.
Yeah, but that's next. We got a whole year to refill that position.
True.
And if it is family reasons, if it is Nebraska that he's changing or flipping to, then can you blame him? I mean, you can't be mad at that, really. We've been through that before with other players, making family decisions with Desan McCullough, the linebacker last year. So,
well, I think it seems to me that I've heard, a lot of tweets and a lot of comments from more this cycle than in years past. I feel from people's families, like, we're waiting to see, like, now they're their kid's manager and they're waiting to see what deals come in and so on and so forth.
Yeah, but let me put this class in perspective nationally. So Alabama, 27 commits. There is a rule that you're only supposed to be able to bring in 25, by the way. Apparently, once again, the South, it just means more, and you can do whatever the hell you want. And obviously, you're free to live without any penalty. So 27 commits, their average. So I judge classes by average. It's not fair to judge a 27 commit class to Ohio State's 20. That's just the numbers. The total numbers are not going to.
The average has always been what's important. And people are like, oh, you got the 1 year we were down around 10. Yeah, we were, because we had a real small class, blah, blah, blah. But if you looked at our average that year, we were, again, like we are now, top 3 or so,
exactly,
right in there. And that's, you're getting the quality.
Right. Alabama is about to probably set a record with this average of 94.76. That might be an all-time record per average. Then Georgia, 93.64. We're coming in right behind them, sliver of a cunt hair at 93.57. Third in the country. From there, after that, it drops down into the 92s with the fourth most. So you got like Miami at a 92.24, Texas a 92.82. So Texas, I guess, would be fourth. But regardless,
do you see?
Yeah.
Do you see this where someone like Alabama has 27? I saw Oregon has 27. All these teams. This NIL money being here, who gives a shit about a scholarship anymore? We'll let you be a preferred walk-on and pay you, whatever you want.
Yeah.
To come here. And I imagine you could see some of that with some of these kids, unless they want to transfer out. But all those kids aren't going to stay at these schools, and because they're not going to be able to. I think the NCAA still has some rules, right? You can't have 130 kids on fucking scholarship.
85.
So at some point, you're going to have. Well, I don't know what it is. Are the COVID rules done? Are they back to 85, or is it still like a little loosey goosey there?
Yeah, I think the COVID rules is still in effect. So yeah, I don't know. I want to look at these national rankings. Texas is third if we're going by total points. Miami fourth, LSU sixth, but they got 25 commits again. Oregon 27 commits, they're eight. Notre Dame at 9 with 25 commits. Tennessee is 10, even with that big Eco Iamaleava quarterback guy. They're still 10. Clemson 11. They have slid over the years. Penn State 13. USC 15. That's not great. This is Lincoln Riley's big chance. His first full class of his own. 15th is not great. Michigan coming in at 18. What do you think about that?
Not great. You'd think back-to-back playoffs, beating Ohio State, winning the Big Ten, that they would do better than that. Where I think, but this again, this is where I think that Michigan is working that transfer portal hard.
Yeah.
Some stud out of somewhere, and
yeah, they got,
so
leading the country.
If you look at these classes, and then add in the transfer, then where are these teams at? I mean, they all got to build it a little bit different, right?
Yeah. Yeah, they've got 7
and like we were saying, and like we were saying, offline, maybe there'll be some of this going forward where these Midwest schools seem to be like, hey, we want you to come up here, but they're not real quick to pay you quite yet. We want to see what you can do. And, so maybe we're going to get more involved in the portal. Like, hey, we saw a kid, we like him, we're willing to pay for that kid, but I'm not willing to pay for a 17-year-old kid that's mom answers the phone.
I do have some breaking news for you that might lift your spirits. The Ohio State did just take a highly rated kicker out of the portal from Kent State. Does that do anything for you? So apparently we've got like a dozen kickers on the roster.
Well, maybe we could find one that can kick.
Yeah, that'd be nice. So,
ain't that a kick in the head?
I just thought that would lift your spirits a little, Shawn. I know how you love kickers.
And I love the MAC. Exactly. And I love Kent State.
He'll be a preferred walk-on, so he won't actually play.
Well, again, the scholarships just go away now. If you're giving me money, why the fuck do I need your scholarship?
Right. Yeah. But any other parting shots you want to take before we jump off here? I want to keep this kind of short. Just give a quick reaction to the overall signing day for Ohio State.
I think overall, a fine enough day as far as I'm concerned. Hopefully fill some holes. These kids will develop. I don't expect many of these guys to play much next year. I'll bet one of those receivers, and I wouldn't even guess which one. I think our top 3 receivers we got in this class are all going to be studs, and that train's keeping rolling. Thank you, Brian Hartline.
Exactly. Yeah.
But yeah, we're fine. People, look at the average of the kids that we got, and it's Alabama, and basically splitting hairs between Georgia, Ohio State, and then a gap between everyone else. So we've got the quality.
Yeah.
That's it.
All right. And this portal, keep that in mind. That is going to change drastically after these playoffs and bowl games. You're going to see a few hundred more guys jumping in that portal, guys that are starters on some of these playoff teams, possibly.
Real quick question that you might have the answer to. So all these kids committed. This is the early commitment, right? So not all of them will be early enrollees. Say when the next national signing day, say that Ohio State and the foundation comes up with a big bag for a kid that's committed to one of these other schools. Can he flip at that point?
You're talking the February signing day?
Yeah, flip between any kid that's signed, he already signed. Can he then change?
Not if he's enrolled. If he's an early enrollee, no. Once you sign on that letter of intent, the NLI,
Well,
not
then
the
it's then
NIL. Yeah.
so once you sign that letter and all these kids signed today, so
Yeah.
it would be a transfer at that point.
Right. He would have to use this one-time transfer. Keep it.
Okay.
We got to keep this in mind sometimes. We think this is unlimited transfers. No, not unless he's a grad. So you got to think a third-year player or fourth year.
Well,
Otherwise,
you
you
also
get,
get hardship. You get
yes,
hardship
that,
transfers.
yeah. And they seem to be handing those out like they're, chicklets.
Yeah.
So,
So anyway, yeah, I was
right.
just
Yeah.
curious. On that. So okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Like Shawn said, the sky's not falling, Buckeye Nation. A number 5 class, according to the total points, a number 3, if you really go by the average per player rankings. So, and it gets better every year, these averages, if you pay attention, for Ohio State. So, nothing to fret over. We're still in the playoffs. Let's focus on that. And we got a lot of studs coming in. So, appreciate everybody listening, watching, and please hit us up, like, subscribe, review, all that good stuff. And we will talk to you next time. I'll be on the Blitz the rest of this week, and our YouTube live will be next Tuesday. So we won't be on Christmas night on Sunday. Next Tuesday will be me, Jeff, and Shawn breaking it down, getting you ready for the Georgia game. All right. Appreciate you, Henry.
Let's go.
All right. Talk to you later.
Peace.
Good luck.